What's going on, y'all? Chuck Nunface here. Got a couple knives on me today. One of them is this guy right here. You know it. You've seen it. It is the Microtech Combat Troodon. Like carrying this one. Been carrying it quite a bit. I dig it. But we already talked about this one. Other one I got on me right here is another Microtech. This is the Amphibian in black aluminum, which is, in my opinion, the superior version. Now, at the risk of sounding like contempt prior to investigation, I haven't had the G10 version of this. Excuse me. I did have the G10 version of the Stitch, the manual Stitch, which I ended up selling. Not because it was a bad knife, just because I prefer the automatic more. But, yeah, this is, I don't know. It just sounds right, feels right in the hand. I don't think I would get a G10 version if given the opportunity to pick one up. I don't know. I don't think I would. But I've already done a video. Actually, I think I've done 2 videos on this. So I just wanted to touch on it again because I have been carrying this thing a lot, man. This knife has been finding its way into my pocket quite a bit. I've purchased and I've gotten other knives that are arguably better than this. You know, my Shirograph F3. What else have I got? I don't know. A few others. Oh, my custom Tom Mayo, Dr. Death. But this one, I think I'll probably do a video on that one at some point soon here too. But in any case, sidebar over. This one's just been making it into my pocket like constantly. If I'm not carrying it, I'm almost always thinking about carrying it. So I'll like stick it in my bag. Maybe I'm not going to carry it that day, but I'll have it in my bag and I'll just kind of mess around with it at my desk or put it in my pocket for a while. This one's just been a really satisfying ownership experience. It's probably my favorite knife that I've purchased in a while. I just like so much about it. It checks so many boxes for me. I mean, I love the blade shape with that recurve, the grind on it with that long swedge, flat, the flipper tabs. I like those too. I wasn't sure I was going to like the flipper tabs, but I actually like them. I like the way the handle feels. I like the ergos of the handle. I like that finger weld right there. Fits my hand really nicely. Backspacer is on point. The pocket clip's good. I don't really care about deep carry. I'm not a big deep carry pocket clip guy, so, I mean, this pocket clip works really well for me. I just like it. I mean, I've carried it a bunch. I've used it. I've sharpened it. I've sharpened it twice. You know, didn't need sharpening, but, you know, I wanted to take the edge back a little bit, and as you can see, I've sharpened it on my KME. It's got a fairly decent mirror on there. You know, I wanted to kind of just put a new edge on this, and I'm pretty happy with the way it's turned out. Sharpened it a couple of times. Pleasure to sharpen, too. So, first time doing it, I didn't use the jewel stick. I just used the stones, and it's not hard to sharpen recurves. They're not dramatic recurves using just the flat stones, because you can just kind of just keep the stones moving laterally instead of just doing a straight up and down, and you're gonna get enough contact. You're gonna get, you know, almost full contact on the stone during that recurve. But the second time around, I wanted to get a little bit deeper on it, and so I went ahead and used the jewel stick on the recurve, and that was it. And yeah, I'm really happy with the results. It's sharp, man. It's really sharp. I mean, paper, whoop-de-doo. I mean, it's not the best sharpness indicator, but here, let me try it again. Yeah, but just cut little 6s. I'm gonna miss that one. Let's see, because I'm doing this in the car here. Yeah, I haven't been doing many long-form videos. I've just been kind of busy. Work and everything else, so I haven't really been doing all those. But been sticking with shorts lately. But yeah, I wanted to get another video out. I haven't done one in a little bit here, so I'm not going to take a whole lot of time on this. You know, I certainly do appreciate those of you that have subscribed to the channel. It definitely helps me out a lot and really kind of keeps me inspired to keep on making content. You know, leave a comment, like the video, leave a comment. I definitely appreciate that too. I'm pretty good about replying to comments as well. So those of you who are checking out my videos and following me on Instagram at Chuck_Nunface, leaving comments and liking the video, I really do appreciate that. That helps. Almost at 1,600 subscribers now, so just kind of working my way to 2,000, and then we'll see where we go from there. I think my Microtech kick is over. In fact, I'll probably start selling pretty soon. I've already sold a couple of the stitches. Some size comparison. I sold the manual stitch, and then I sold my apocalyptic automatic stitch. I still had the full serrated shadow stitch. I'm going to hang out to that one for a little bit. But I think I'm done with my Microtech kind of phase. I'll probably, like I say, start selling some more off here in a little bit. I don't know if I'll keep the Combat True down. We'll see. I mean, it's a really good knife. I mean, I like it. I carry it a lot, more at home than at the office. But I carry it quite a bit. I like it. I like the updates they've made to it. One thing I've kind of, addressed, or I haven't addressed rather, in the videos I've been doing about the Microtechs, is I got to shout out to them. Yeah, they do send their knives really sharp. In fact, I was using the CT and I was just cutting an apple, and I was bringing it back, and I was bringing the blade towards me. I was peeling my apple, and the blade just touched my thumb. I was like, what the heck? I ended up getting a cut on my thumb, so I was like, dang, that doesn't usually happen. But yeah, they send their knives really sharp. But the other thing I want to point out is I really got to give them credit for sending out knives that are ground evenly. It's been somewhat of an epidemic, at least in my world, where I've been getting knives lately that have just been unevenly ground, and from companies that I really like and respect, which it's kind of messed me up a little bit. Like, I'm not trying to throw any companies under the bus, but like, I've gotten some from Medford that haven't been ground evenly, Spartan blades that haven't been ground evenly, and I think I'll probably do a video on that a little bit. At least it's kind of just touch on it. And I like those knife companies. There are others too. I just can't think of them off the top of my head, but I mean, I really like those two knife companies that I've mentioned. I've owned multiple knives from each company, but it had gotten to the point in my sharpening where I use a guided system. I use the KME, and there's going to be some variance when you're doing it, half a degree on either side, when depending on how you've got it in the clamps and how the bevels, the angle set and the grip, and then the guide rod and everything else. And really a lot of it is going to be on where you clamp the knife, and you can see on this one, you kind of have to, if you want a nice flat spot, you got to take off the paddles and you got to clamp right there, which is not ideal. You want to have more in the middle, but I digress. But you are going to get, on a guided system, a little bit of a variance in your sharpening angles, but it's really not going to be anything you can notice unless you're really looking for it. It's probably going to be closer to the tip or something like that, or the heel, where you really might notice that difference in the angle. But I thought I was doing something wrong. I had been sharpening so many knives where I truly thought I was doing something wrong, because it would be like, I would have it look noticeably different. The edge would look noticeably different on one side and the other. It would be much higher, or it would go higher on one side towards the tip than it did on the other side. And now I'm racking my brain, and I'm looking at video. I'm like, am I doing something wrong? What am I doing wrong? Well, for once, it turns out it wasn't me. It was actually the knife's fault. They're not ground evenly, and it's been happening quite a bit with, like I say, companies I like. So, kind of a long-winded way of saying it, but shout out to Microtech Knives for actually delivering evenly ground blades consistently. So I definitely really appreciate that. So, that's going to do it. This video didn't really have a topic or anything to really talk about. I just kind of wanted to show the Amphibian again, because it's just been a knife that it's just impressed me in so many ways, and I'm so glad I have it. It's awesome. I mean, like I say, it's one of the knives that I've picked up in recent memory. I can't remember another knife that I've liked as much as I've liked this one. So that's going to do it, y'all. Hope everything's going good in your world. Appreciate the subscriptions. Appreciate the likes, the follows on Instagram, everything else. And I'll check you in the next one. Peace.